Hello, Shatanik. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good to be back.
Well, what do you have in store for us today? Because last time you left the viewers in CYST part one
Yeah.
with a homework, and are we beginning with that or something else?
No, we will end with that. Basically,
Okay.
we will start with a new concept, and it's a very simple concept. We'll see some application of that concept, and we'll end with that homework problem, which also uses that concept in a way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is here? Julius Ferdinand bred 1844, white to play and mate in two.
Yes, white to play and mate into, and this is actually a very trivial problem, and by modern standards, it is not a very good problem because it has some real weaknesses, and that is what I want to demonstrate here. I mean, chess problems also have weaknesses, like our opponents in a chess game have weaknesses. So for a solver, it is important to spot those weaknesses.
For
So in
me
this,
personally, when I saw this position, I just removed the white queen out,
yeah, yeah,
and if the knight comes there, it's a checkmate.
yeah, yeah.
So, guys, try to pause this video and figure out how should white checkmate in two moves here. Shatnik, my answer here looks like you need to stop the black rook from coming
From
down
coming
and
to d1.
delivering
Exactly,
a checkmate.
exactly.
So this is what I feel should be the move.
Yeah. So this is really trivial. Queen d6 is automatic, and the main reason is what you said. Yes, we have to clear up that f4 square because knight into f4 must happen, and also we have to stop rook d1 checkmate.
Correct.
So this rook d1 is something known as an unprovided move. So if you so in generally when you are working on two movers, you try to see what are the responses black has in store. So if you give a move to black, you try to see what are the responses he has in store. So here, rook d1 checkmate is unstoppable. So whatever white does, he has to stop that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And there are very few options. Either you go queen d4 or you go queen d6, and of course queen d4 doesn't make any sense.
Also, if you
So
go queen c1, then he'll just pick up your knight
pick up the
and
knight.
there's
Yeah.
nothing much left. Yeah. Okay, so
So
this was relatively easy.
yeah. So this is a concept. So when you work through two movers, you try to spot these unprovided moves. So now we just look at the same concept but in a more complex setting.
Okay, let me load the position. This is Theodore Morris Brown, mate in two. It is from 1859.
Yeah. So all these problems are quite old because you don't see such problems in today's modern
This
world.
is where I get completely confused. Like, what
Yeah.
is happening? So many pieces, all.
Yeah, there are plenty of pieces and it looks very messy, but it is essentially based on the same concept. So try to spot the unprovided moves here. So if you give a move to black, black can go here, queen b1 check,
Yeah,
black can play knight a1 check,
too many moves. Yeah.
yeah, rook b2 check, and you don't have anything for them.
Hmm.
Like you have to do something to take care of them. And you see that let's say if black goes queen b1 here, put an arrow. If black goes queen b1,
Yeah.
then white can actually meet this with bishop b2, and this
Ah,
is a check, and this is a check, but this is not a mate because the rooks are hanging. The
both
rook
are
on
hanging.
d5 and the rook on f3 are hanging. Similarly, if black plays knight a1 check, you can meet this check with bishop into a1.
Hmm.
But the problem is the rooks are hanging.
True. True.
The same is true for rook b2 check.
So
So
rook b2, any check can be met with this bishop moving with a counter check, but the
yeah,
problem is that these two rooks are hanging. So try to pause your video now and try to figure out how should white try to checkmate black in two moves here.
yeah, and the idea is to you have to guard both the rooks
Hmm.
in one move. And yeah, how can you do that?
By moving one of my rooks.
Yeah, by doubling the rooks, by connecting the rooks.
Right, right. But which one is the important one?
Yeah,
I,
so there are,
I think
yeah,
if I move this rook, then the king gets this square.
yeah, but
So,
there you have queen g6 met. If you move rook d3, rook
uh-huh.
f d3, and now the king goes king f5.
No, but no, I was just thinking that if I give this check and you have to block, then the king still. Oh, he doesn't have this card,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Sorry. Oh,
but okay, but
so
there is another
checkmate.
problem. But
Uh-huh.
there is another problem. Black can play knight d4 check here, and now the rooks are disconnect it.
Oh, nice. Nice move. If I have to give a check, then this bishop comes in between these two rooks and you lose one of them.
Yeah, and also you can play knight e3 here, because after knight e3 the f3 square is vacated, and there is no mate into anymore.
Hmm.
So rook f d3 doesn't work. Now let's look at rook d d3.
Yeah, this seems much
Once
more
again,
logical.
once again, this doesn't meet knight d4 check, because after knight d4, bishop into d4, the d5 square is available for the black king.
Ooh.
So this leaves only one option. Now the key move should be obvious.
Oh, nice, nice. You do this way here.
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly. And
nice.
it's a really flashy move, because you sort of hang both your rooks.
Ah,
Yeah, and you also provoke a check. So now actually black can go rook h3 check.
right.
Here.
But the bishop will just move and
Yeah, bishop will move, and the check will be made with a checkmate. So this is a nice key, I mean, flashy key.
beautiful.
But once again, since you have these unprovided checks in the position, it is not very difficult to come at this solution. I mean, it really narrows down all the possibilities.
No, but the thing is, here there is one more complication, that this knight d4 was a very interesting defense which had to be spotted.
Yeah. So after rook f5 here, knight d4 check is met with bishop into d4.
Yes.
Queen b1 is met with bishop b2.
Yeah, the same thing. If queen
Yeah,
b1.
same thing. But there is one another interesting point, that is the rook on h4 can actually defend. So after rook f5, the rook can go to, let's say, rook h6, with the idea of interfering with the queen.
Mhm.
But then you have bishop f6 checkmate, blocking the rook.
Nice, nice.
Similarly for rook h7, bishop g7, etc. Yeah, bishop g7.
These little
And-
points make the position even more beautiful.
Yeah, so this is a more complex application of unprovided moves, you could say.
Right.
So the first one was really trivial. I mean, you could spot the key move instantly, but
Yes.
here it looked really messy and really scary, but it is based on the same idea, and it is not difficult at all.
Right. Okay. So shall we go to the next one?
Yeah, let's go to the next one now.
This
This
one.
was the homework.
Yes.
This was the task that we had given to our viewers.
Did you check the comment section, because there were many people who found the answer?
Yeah, there were many people who found the answer. Some didn't find, some also wrong comments were also there.
So guys, please do write in the comment section, because Shatnik and myself, we are looking at those comments and trying to figure out, and maybe we'll also reply to some of them in the forthcoming videos. Okay, so here what is the unprovided check here? If it was black to move, I think black
queen
would
into d5.
take this, correct?
Exactly. And the problem is, if you guard with knight d6 check, then e3 is hanging. So queen into d5, knight e3, knight d6, then king into e3 is the escape square.
You mean here? Oops, sorry. If let's say black takes on d5 and there is this counter check because this is pinned, then there is king takes e3. Okay.
So just like the previous problem where we connected the rooks,
Hmm.
here we have to connect that pawn on e3 with that bishop on b2.
Oh, by the way, so basically what you do is you give the opponent the move, let him play, then you give a check, like this seems like the most natural, and then you see, oh, this is hanging, so let's protect it. And so from there you get this move bishop c1.
Exactly.
Ooh,
so
nice.
from here we just get bishop c1. So it looks like a very complicated move, but you can logically arrive at it.
And if now let's say this is taken, we must try to give a check, but at the same time make sure this is protected, and also this is protected, so rook e5.
Rook e5 check.
Yeah, this is the correct move. Nice. And if queen takes d5, this is a beautiful mate, because
the queen is pinned.
You want to take this, but it's pinned here and the king cannot go anywhere. Everything is controlled. Very nice.
Yeah, queen a5 check is also there, which is important to see. Queen a5 check. This is also made with rook into a5.
Yeah, and a mate.
Yeah, and another defense is queen f2. This is a very clever defense. Yeah, so just making the square f3 available.
Oh, but it doesn't change anything. Yeah, you still go
rook
e5
e5 check. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay.
So this is the solution.
So basically, unprovided checks can really help you to come at the solutions. So,
Yeah.
Shatnik,
If there are unprovided checks, yeah, in the available in the position. I mean, in modern problems, you won't find such things.
ah,
So that is the thing.
modern problemists are
Yeah.
more tricky. Yeah,
Yeah, more
they
tricky,
make the life
and
difficult.
yeah, and unprovided checks are considered to be serious weaknesses. So,
Okay.
I mean, these kind of problems will not be even accepted in standard magazines,
It's
problem
like
magazines.
in the olden days when people didn't know theory, kind of they were
Yeah,
evolving, they
yeah,
were
yeah,
trying to find on their own, and
yeah,
now
yeah.
it's so sophisticated, kind of something like that.
Exactly, exactly. But
Okay.
the next problem that we have for our audiences, it's the homework for today,
Okay.
and this is kind of very interesting. Look at this. This is by Sam Lloyd, and it also won a first prize.
Mm.
And now I have been telling you all this way that unprovided checks are weaknesses. But look at this position. There are so many checks. Black can play knight a5 check, which is of course provided. That is not a problem. Queen into a5, that is met with queen into a5.
Mm.
Yeah, but knight d6 is an unprovided check. Queen d3 is unprovided.
You
Queen-
said right now this is a provided check. What does that mean?
yeah, because you can meet it with queen into a5.
So something which doesn't result in mate immediately is known as unprovided check.
Unprovided check.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
You don't have a response for that. Yeah.
So okay, there are even more checks in this
Yeah,
position.
for example, queen e4 is a provided check. Queen e4 check is a check, but you have rook into e4 here. So you don't need to worry about that check. But there are plenty of unprovided checks. Queen d3 is unprovided. Queen f4 is Queen f1 is unprovided.
Okay, so the task for the viewers is to now find out the mate in two in this position.
Yeah.
It's white to play, and please write down your answers in the comment section. And today's theme was unprovided check. I hope that this was a good brain work for you. We will be soon back with the third edition of CYST. Can you solve this? And let us know in the comments if you are enjoying this series. And Shatnik, as always, a big pleasure to have you and to solve these problems. I think the viewers are getting stronger in problem solving.
Yeah, I think so too. And the responses are really encouraging for me as well.
Fantastic.